Some people don't keep you on yes. They don't keep you on no either. They keep you on maybe. And maybe is dangerous because it sounds like hope. It sounds like just wait, it'll come back. It sounds like I'm tripping, they care. But maybe it's not a season. It's a holding pattern. And if you've been in it long enough, you already know the feeling. The random warmth, the random love, the random I miss you. Then right back to absence like you imagined the whole thing. Like you imagined the whole connection. That's not closeness. That's a lever. Because if they were consistently cold, you'd make a clean decision. But they don't want a clean decision. They want you available. So they drip feed you just enough good to keep you calling it from what it is. And the part that really messes with you, your mind starts working overtime trying to solve it. In labs, they figured something out a long time ago. If you reward something consistently, it learns the pattern and stops when the reward stops. But if you reward it randomly, unpredictable, now it keeps trying. Harder, longer, with more obsession. Not because anything was wrong with it, but because it's doing exactly what a nervous system does when the reward is inconsistent. It starts hunting for control. That's why slot machines don't pay every time. If they did, you'd leave with your winnings and go home. That the randomness is the glue. Now bring it into your life. They aren't consistent with affection. They aren't consistent with respect. They aren't consistent with effort. They pop up bright, then disappear. They show love, then punish you with distance. They act like you're important, then they treat you like you're optional. And your brain, being a brain, starts doing what it does. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe I should try a different approach next time. You see all the maybes? The same maybe they left you on. You call it intuition. But be real, a lot of that is mind reading. That mind reading wasn't intuition. It was conditioning. It wasn't I can sense energy. It was my body is trying to predict the next reward so I don't get hurt again. You weren't psychic. You were trained. And this doesn't just happen in relationships. Let's talk about friendships. Because some of y'all are loyal to people who only love you when they're empty. They hit you when they need something. Advice, support, a place to vent, a favor, a connection, your time, your ear. And you give because you're solid. You're consistent and you're real. But the moment they're up, they're busy. They're hard to reach. They forgot. They didn't see it. They've been meaning to call. Then when life punches them again, here they come with the same soft voice and familiar words like nothing happened. And you let it slide because the warmth feels good after the cold. That right there is the mechanism. Because love isn't steady. It's scheduled by their convenience. So you end up like the express lane of their comfort, sitting there wondering why you felt so drained. And somehow guilty for noticing. If someone only knows how to show love when they're in need, they're not building friendship with you. They're managing access to you. In relationships, it's the same game, just more intense. They're present when they want you. They're absent when you need them. They're sweet when you feel them pulling away. And they're cold when they feel you attached. So you start chasing the good version of them like it's a finish line. And the disappointment makes you stay because you don't want the story to end ugly. You don't want it to end unfinished. You don't want the good to mean nothing. You want the good to mean something. So you keep thinking, let me get back to how it was. The good times. But the good moments aren't proof of stability. They're proof the switch still works. And if you keep returning to a person who keeps making you earn basic consistency, you're not in love. You're in a reward system. So, if the best part of your connection is the relief you feel when you finally act right, that's not romance. That's recovery from stress. Your body isn't saying I'm safe with them. Your body is saying pressure, stop for a second. So how do you break the spell? You stop trying to decode their mood and start reading the pattern, because patterns don't lie. Even when people do. I never understood how people can believe words they can't see, but actions that they see with their own eyes. I never understood that. Ask yourself, quietly and honestly, when I stop initiating, does this connection die? When I say no, do they respect it or do they punish it? When something goes wrong, does it get clearer over time or does it get foggier? Because healthy connection gets clearer even after mistakes. And if every time you reach for clarity, they reach for distance, clarity is the enemy in that dynamic. Not because you're asking too much, but because clarity would force a decision. And maybe only works if you stay undecided. So you decide, not with a speech, not with a paragraph, and not with a courtroom presentation, but with a standard. I don't do hot and cold. I don't build closeness on inconsistency. If you want access to me, you show up like it. And if they suddenly turn hot the moment you detach, don't confuse that with change. Sometimes that's just the system trying to pull you back into the slot machine. Now, right here's where a lot of people need to hear this. You weren't dumb for staying. You weren't too emotional. You weren't doing the most. You were responding exactly how a nervous system responds when love is random. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to love like that. Because maybe is expensive. It costs time. It costs peace. It costs self-trust. And you deserve connection that doesn't require you to become a detective just to feel secure. So here's the moment. If someone keeps you on maybe, they're not confused. They're comfortable. And your job is not to earn your way into consistency. Your job is to stop renting space to inconsistency. Comment maybe if you've been stuck in the pattern. If you want part 2, I'll give you the first 3 lines that'll break hot and cold cycles without arguing. Plus, what to do when they suddenly care the moment you stop chasing.